Hey guys, it's Michael Todd, and welcome to The.Cult.Of.Vintage. The train is a-coming. I gotta get across the tracks, y'all. Let's go. Hurry up. Anyhow, you guys, today we're at Sunbury Station. Here we are downtown, and how apropos, so as I was saying, today you guys, we are at Sunbury Station in Sunbury, Pennsylvania. We are here on a mission and a challenge. That's right. One item. We're only allowed to get one item today. That's a challenge. That is a serious challenge. I'm feeling up to it though. Alrighty guys, let's get inside, shall we? Here we go. Alrighty guys, here we go onto the interior. This is really interesting. They've really expanded their minerals, their agates. I think these are fossils, they're crystals, things of that nature. They seem to be very popular nowadays, I guess very like kind of holistic. Now, one of the first things that pop out to me are these little ashtrays here. They're really super cute and fun. Typically, they're made in Japan, though I will say that there are a few manufacturers who have made them out of Germany. Schaefer Water, I know, has made several of them. They're super cute, but I can only allow myself one item. So that is a possibility. You never know. We're going to kind of see what else that we've got here. We've got some Civil War era bullets there. I love the fact that they actually have Gettysburg on those. Some various military kind of memorabilia. We've got quite a few. Ooh, look at him. Little troll elephant guy here. It's interesting that he is in two different colorways there. That was odd. Unida, I believe is how you pronounce it. He's cute. Look at that. A wee little scotch. I don't know how I feel about that. It's a baby drinking his scotch out of a bottle. There's no problem with that at all, right? Beautiful jadeite lamp. That's actually been on the floor before. These are really interesting. I'm seeing some Frankoma pieces here in the prairie green. I'm not overly enthused about them. It's a possibility. Seeing this little lithograph toy here, the boy on the bicycle, he is priced at $175. A little bit out of our price range, but still cool to see. He reminds me of Dennis the Menace. That's exactly what I thought. Kind of some mantiques here. Not really the market I sell in. Oh, hey, look at that. Miss Pac-Man. No, I don't think that this is Miss Pac-Man. I think this might be Dig Dug 2 or Dig Dug 3, if I'm not mistaken. Don't know. So we're going to check out what else that we've got going on here. As you can tell immediately, there's just a great vibe throughout the store. There's just a vast array of items. We've got some Majolica, a little mid-century gazelle. These little weirdos. What are these? I'm not entirely... Oh, they look like... oh, they're just little figurines. They have it labeled as Dumbo 15. I'm not seeing a Walt Disney marking on it. You know, there are a lot of companies out of Japan that did do things that were inspired by, but weren't officially licensed by Disney. Of course, we see some Hull, and then what is this? There is no price on this. It turns out this little lamp here is $30. There is no manufacturing label or stamp on it. I was able to run kind of a comp. It turns out that this is a hobbyist piece and somebody turned it into a lamp, and yeah, you're seeing it there. Unfortunately, when they were attaching the hardware to the lamp, it looks like it did cause a hairline, and unfortunately that hairline ran down the entire length of his ear. It is causing some splitting down there at the ear. It is so unusual and kitschy. I mean, it's a long neck, like Cocker Spaniel dog lamp. Where else? But that damage, you guys, I don't know. It's really making me question whether to get it or not. I think I'm going to have to leave him behind. Yeah, I did. I know. It's just the damage, you know, the size of the shipping, it kind of makes me a little nervous. And then to also have that damage, you just never know. It would just take one good drop. It wouldn't necessarily damage an intact piece, but that was a shame. So again, we're seeing some kind of more like the classic, like mantique kind of stuff here. A little bunny here is tucked behind him. I thought he was really cute. I'm like, what are you doing back there? Come out here. Oh no, I do love a rubber squeak. This is the little pink elephant. I actually purchased a gray one of these previously. I'd sent it as a gift to Misty. I know that he's being well loved. The pink was fun to see. Oh, we have some cards over here. No, subject matter isn't what I want it to be. I need the wow factor, the strange, the unusual, overly ornate are things that I'm going to look for in the ephemera, especially the postcards. And then I'm like, what is this? Okay, now truth be told, I actually went back and got these. They haunted my dreams for obvious reasons. It is celery. It's anthropomorphic celery shakers. Like, how are you gonna like? I was like, but I'm on a challenge. It was $14 for the set. I will say that they sold very well, so I definitely made some room on that. That was an exception, kind of to the rule. I typically don't like spending $14 to $15 on salt and pepper shakers, but I took a risk and it paid off for those guys. Yeah, they looked very treasure craft, kind of like with that wood grain. They obviously are stamped here on the back. $4. I mean, I think that's a great deal. There is some crazing, of course, to the yellowing in the eye. Oh, look at these mushrooms. So mid-century. I mean, just the movement on the piece. They kind of remind me of the mushrooms from Fantasia. Little F and T or T and F. What are they? Dairy Queen or Tasty Freeze? Tasty Freeze is what they're from. Little mascots. They're cute. The price was really good. Those typically go anywhere from $20 to $35. So, but is that the wow factor? Not really. That's a wow factor. Look at this ceramic Christmas tree. Really good condition. I liked the height of it. It's a larger one without being too overpowering, but there was no price on it. Like these little vintage Japan turtle shakers. Of course, we have some green opalescent. You know I'm going to feature that, don't you? I've sold very similar pieces to that. Just going to check it all out here. Oh, this is really pretty. I thought it was unusual. They have it marked as $6. Beautiful antique tray. But isn't that painting on that beautiful? Of course it is hand painted. I'm not familiar with this signature. If you recognize it, please let me know down in the comments. I don't know. It was one of those pieces, like, I feel like it could be very special, to be honest with you, but I was on a challenge and I was being very good. Okay, this is actually a TP. It's an acronym for a bank. It is in fact a bank. It is an advertisement piece. It's very a sign of the times, I guess you could say. I do have this piece. I will say that my paint on specifically my Indian is not as nice. Those will usually go for about anywhere from 80 to 90. I think that one might do a little bit better, quite frankly, because of the quality of the paint on it. Seeing this very unusual looking bovine in here. She's bougie. She won something. She's like, I'm fancy and I know it. She took first place at the 4-H, you guys. Yeah, she did. Look at the attitude. Jeez. Well, Miss Attitude, you can just sit there with your attitude and I'm going to shut this cabinet door right on you and walk away. Oh my gosh, this is fantastic. Look at this rocking horse. Is it a rocking horse? I don't know. It's pretty cool. I'm not really into the Crocs, to be honest with you. There's so much to know about them, and I know absolutely nothing, so I'm going to stay away from it. We've got some gorgeous uranium glass. Look at that glow. I mean, that was so Wizard of Oz, wasn't it? Emerald City. I can totally see them serving their little finger foods on that. These guys are really cool. Obviously, they're cardboard that is attached to the little wooden blocks. I really liked these. They were a little out of my price range, though I will say, what was it? $90. You know what? I don't think that that's that bad. It's reading very like mid to late 1800s to me. Definitely the artisan style is of that era. I don't know if the actual piece is. That isn't the original box. It was a cigar box. But I thought that was really cool. I don't know. I was kind of debating that one. I wasn't going to lie. Obviously, we've got a number of head vases here. You saw the one I just pointed at with the cowl on. There's obviously substantial damage. Now, she does have some damage. Margot. Okay, Margot. Well, Margot, I'm really digging you, lady. I actually am. She did have some damage on her pansy there. There was no price. I'm like, well, the prices are on all these other ones. That's just the day. I mean, if it doesn't have a price on it in an antique mall, I'm most certainly going to find it. I don't... Just like, oh my gosh, really. I'm going to debate about Margot. She did, if you saw, has some damage there to her applied pansy on the front. I don't think it's the world's worst damage, but it is still there. And with only buying one item, I really want to try to make sure I'm getting something in as best condition and as nice as possible. Liked her. She was cute. She is obviously missing an earring. Look at these little lead figurines. Obviously, a very tragic time in history. $350, the Nazis. Yeah. I mean, not for me. I can appreciate the historical context. I just think that it's important not to dispose of those kinds of things because, again, it is reflective of a period of time, a very tragic period of time that we went through in our collective history. And sometimes when we get rid of those things, it's easy to forget. So I'm glad to see that those were preserved. And I'm certainly sure that somebody that is going to understand and appreciate that period of time is going to find those and love those. Little Fenton fish we saw there for a second. This is really interesting. These Lefton floral canisters. I really like those. It was $30 for the 4. That is definitely a thing. I think those are really pretty. They're obviously vintage, but I think that they would work very well in a modern home. Talking about attitude, all the farm animals have got some attitude. These pigs are jamming out. I don't know if they have attitude or if they just have a lot of personality. They just have personality. Talking about personality, okay. Let's stay away from me kind of personality. A little monkey here. Now, he does have the hard resin face. It's not the soft vinyl, or more classically referred to as the rubber face. At $50, I think it's pretty good price for him, given his overall condition. He didn't really seem to have a lot of matting or staining or anything like that, so that was fair. But again, those rubber faces, the soft squishy faces, the Rushtons, My Toys, Gloria Toys, to name a few. Those are the ones you really want to keep your eye out for. And of course, you do want to keep your eye out for those cloth hand painted ones. Those predate, of course, the plastics. Obviously, we are finding some more postcards, but like I said earlier, we really want to look out for very unusual subject matter. It doesn't have to be specific to any holiday or any occasion, but it really is the subject matter that's really going to sell the piece. Here we have got some cookie cutters, really interesting. Oh, look at the giant gingerbread. I think that one's really cool. It was $10. These little ones here are $15. They all do have their original box, which I think is pretty cool. Looks like they're missing one cookie cutter, which was a pigeon. I don't know how I feel about eating a pigeon cookie, but I mean, hey, to each their own. This place is full of personality. Bulldog is like, that's the day after, you know what I mean? All right, we have got more antiques upstairs. We're not going to go through there. We're going to head up the stairs, don't you worry. Let's do it. Now, this is, of course, in a renovated historical train depot. And look at that. Oh, my God. There's not one, you guys. There's two. Oh, my word. Oh, I want them so bad. They're currently not for sale. You know I asked. Of course I asked. How am I not going to ask if that's for sale? Oh, my gosh. Just imagine like a huge Weller, Luelsa, Jardinier on there. Oh, mercy. Ooh. Goodness gracious, that would be, and a huge fern just bursting out of it. Oh, the look. Oh, yeah. Now, Now, this is new to me, this little space here. It's very feminine, it's contemporary. And then I saw the vintage clear toy candy. I know a lot of people have not heard of this, which is shocking and disappointing to me all at the same time. But it quite literally is sugar melted down into a liquid form, food colored, and then poured into typically like a metal mold. I remember my grandmother making those a lot. Soldiers, rocking horses, trees, dolls, things of that nature. We've got some beautiful Roseville, but it's at $60, so it's gonna have to stay there. Some more beautiful pieces. I'm loving it. Oh my gosh. I gotta say, I'm not the biggest fan of the pastels. With the Roseville, I like the more earth tones. I think that it lends itself better to an arts and crafts style, whereas the pastels, it for me, in my opinion, it starts to lean a little bit more of the mid-century. For all of you hardcore Roseville people out there, you may know. I would think that those colors weren't in the original run of the pieces, were probably introduced as they were entering into the mid to late 50s. I could be wrong. I know Weller did use pastels in the 30s, so kind of trend setting those colors. Got a great spring sale, 20% off. Well, of course, we're going to check it out. Why wouldn't we? Baseball memorabilia, some cards, playing cards. Oh, it reminds me of the modern Kellogg's Rooster. No, not what we're looking for. We've got some Life magazines. I know some of them are valuable, but got some cute toys, some weird little cartoon. Yeah. Oh, look at the Christmas box. I was like, is there any? Nope. It's empty. It's still cool. I know there are quite a few people that will collect those, and especially like under your aluminum Christmas tree. You know, if you put some ribbon on there and a bow and just kind of left it empty, I mean, nobody would know. You're creating a look, an aesthetic, and I think that that would be beautiful. I don't know. I definitely say check out the old Christmas boxes because, again, the art in it's very nostalgic. So I always do enjoy seeing those, of course. And, of course, some of the older department stores, you'll see those gift boxes and you're just like, it just reminds you of being in those stores and in a time well gone by. Malls are becoming far and few in between anymore. Not really seeing a whole lot here either. That fan is pretty interesting. I feel like that would definitely take off your finger. We're going to check it all out, gosh darn it, because I said we're only getting one item. We do have some good possibilities. I'm not mad at the possibilities, but I really want that wow kind of thing, right? Disappointed on the puppy long neck, but we're still on the hunt. This booth is at 20%. These are interesting. I've seen these here before. They are marked federal. Again, very mid-century. I love this color combination, this turquoise with the white. I think that's absolutely beautiful. I think the overall look of them is awesome. I love the shape. I I don't really like the rooster, if I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's just so, unfortunately, it's so specific. It's not general enough to appeal to enough people, so I leave him behind. It's really interesting. It's like almost like an early decoupage, if you will, or is that right? Decoupage? No, I'm thinking Mod Podge. So decoupage, I think, is the right. Stunning piece of Vaseline glass here at $70. I love those pieces, those console bowls. I think they're beautiful. But at 70, we're going to have to leave it behind. We're going to check out some jewelry over here. Again, looking for the subject matter. Pretty little enameled flower. It's kind of like a matte to it. I like it. It's pretty. That definitely cannot be our one item. I mean, it could be. Hey, if that was the thing that you were most attracted to and fell in love with, and everything else paled in comparison, then go for it. You know, we got to be like bougie here, right? And I say that with my pinky up, don't you worry. We have some pink depression glass here with little lovebirds on that. $28. Hey, that's a good price. It's a little under retail. I guess I should say that. Surprisingly, that piece only goes for about 35 to 40. Interestingly enough, you would think it would be more. I don't know. I think it's just an impressive, it's a statement kind of piece. Look at those lucite chairs. Ooh, lordy. Could you just imagine? But again, I think that that would go excellent in a contemporary home if you had like a faux fur on there to add some comfort. They're not exactly the most comfortable of chairs to sit in, but definitely put that into a contemporary home. No, not so much. Not so much. Now, you guys, here, they told me when I was downstairs that they added in a new room, and we're going to head over into it here. Yeah, you are seeing there's the macabre room. There is a wicker casket right there. Your eyes did not deceive you. So again, we are kind of like in this upper landing, and I would just wanted to check it all out just so that you guys can get a feel for the restoration of the building. I think it's so fantastic that they've taken the time, effort, and of course the money into ensuring that a piece of history really stays well preserved. And I think we can all agree they've done an excellent job. I mean, look at the woodwork. They didn't paint the woodwork. A plus. Don't paint your antique wood detail in your home. That's a wicker casket. Church pew. We got some stained glass. Don't worry, this doesn't get too creepy. It's weird. And then people are seeing, they're like, oh my God, there's like a doctor's. Didn't he just say it wasn't going to get creepy? And I'm like, it's weird, but it's not creepy. Implements of what? I don't really want to know, truth be told. That, like I said, it was going to get weird. That's looking awfully weird to me. Don't know what that book is either. There's a lot of taxidermy in here. We've got insects and leucites. You are seeing, of course, a hawk there. The little talons are peeking out at you. That's a synthetic crow. The hands. Yeah. There's nothing that's really saying take me home. I thought for sure I was going to be like, oh my gosh, everything. I want everything. Lie. Fail in the video. But I love that little bud vase, the collection of them. And yes, I do see the Fenton Jadeite candlesticks. Look at that old bottle of Listerine. They used to recommend Listerine for some really crazy things. I do know that. As well as Lysol. Oh my word. Some antique books. Definitely want to check out the subject matter. We've got some old little like apothecary bottles. Yeah. Ooh. Look at these calling cards or advertisement cards. Removal, removal. I don't know what you're removing, but interesting. North 8th Street. Julius Scheel. Yeah, subject matter isn't where I need it to be. However, now this is subject matter. Yeah, mermaids. You can never go wrong with it. I love the fact that they elected to use mermaids with hair vigor. Nothing says hair restoration like mermaids, don't you agree? So yes, I am going to get that mermaid card. Oh no, is that going to be my one thing? I don't know. There was some stuff downstairs, so we do have those options. I'm not really feeling that one. I mean, these are cool. They're definitely antique, but you know, like the mermaids, it had that wow factor. You're like, mermaids. These are kind of like, oh, those are, oh, it's a little girl hugging a puppy. It's cute. I mean, that's a cough killer. I decided to rearrange here so that things were a little bit easier for folks to see. I don't know. I was inspired to, darn it. Because I think that these things are cool. I mean, call me crazy. Sassy pants. Should I call this video full of personality? And I was about to leave the room when I saw, yeah, that's where it is the Peacock brass fireplace screen. I was like, is this thing complete? Like, is it all rusted and pitted? I'm like, no, it's not. I don't think anybody ever used it. If they did, they used it spirit. Oh my gosh, both of the knobs are there. The brass is nice and shiny. Do you see that? It's beautiful. I love this piece. I've wanted this piece for a while. I can't believe that this is here. You know what? Let's check her out in her full glory. What? Oh, it's stunning. It's deco. It's nouveau. It's Victor. I don't even know. I don't care. I love it. Guess what, you guys? We found our one item. There we have it, guys. Another exciting trip to Sunbury Station. I am very pleased with the one item that we got. I did end up getting some playing cards though too, so I guess I cheated a little bit, but those are for resale. This I'm keeping. Hope that you guys had a good time today. Remember, if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. It's for free. I'd appreciate it. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and let me know what item down in the comments you wish I had picked up. I'm not too far from here. I can be back here in a jiffy. You just let me know. And until next time, guys, remember, keep it rusty, crusty, and dusty. Bye, guys.